Hey guys, what is up? It is Greg here from Personal Evolution. Today we're continuing our fundamental analysis of cryptocurrency series, and this time we've got the one that everyone loves to hate. It is, of course, XRP, and it's by Ripple, or rather RippleLabs, and that's probably one of the confusions that people get into straight away, but we'll explain all that. So we'll cover what XRP is, how it works in conjunction with Ripple, and really what could happen in the long run with the currency. So how the price is going to act, 21 and beyond. So we're going to take our framework from the fundamental analysis of crypto videos. I'll link that below. And as I said before, there are a number of things to consider when looking at tokens and cryptocurrencies in general and thinking about it from a fundamental VC sort of view. So that is product, use case / business model, market potential, traction, team, funding, and then we'll wrap up with price. So let's look at XRP and the company kind of leading the charge with it, Ripple. So before we jump in, need to make a distinction. There is Ripple the company, which sells a product to financial institutions, e.g. banks. And then there is XRP, the digital currency which Ripple leverages to make their product possible. It's hard to talk about XRP without mentioning Ripple, and most people kind of use it as an interchangeable word, but Ripple has just got sued by the SEC for the SEC claims that they've used XRP as a security to effectively invest in their company. And Ripple says, no, XRP is a separate open source technology, and that is strictly correct. So, like I say, it's hard to talk about XRP without mentioning Ripple, as Ripple drives a lot of the use of the network through the sale of its RippleNet product, and we'll come on to that. Ripple's product is a platform, which is a closed source network. With RippleNet, users have access to global payments, on-demand liquidity, which allows them to trade without worrying about how someone accepting the order on the other end, and payout options in more than 40 different currencies. Payments are processed through pre-validated transactions, which lowers the cost and speed for worldwide transactions. Users can also add services called ODL and line of credit, which add additional functionality to the main RippleNet product. And the way XRP fits into this is Ripple uses its very own XRP ledger consensus protocol, often referred to as XRP ledger by the Ripple guys. And this focuses on a few primary principles to do the agreement. So agreement correctness and forward progress. And that's how it achieves consensus. XRP itself is primarily used as a utility token within that network. There's some stats about XRP. It's a pre-mined token with a max supply of 100 billion XRP. It has a circulating supply of just under 44 billion, so that means 56 is still held. And that kind of brings us to our first clash point. When we're looking at crypto, we want to see how decentralized something is for the long-term value, if you believe in this kind of open collective thing, which I think a lot of us do. So Ripple owns over half the available XRP, and it sells this to the market periodically to fund its operations until the recent SEC lawsuit, but we'll touch on that in a bit. So due to the high level of centralizations, the number of XRP developers has been falling according to recent reports. Again, link below. Check it out. Really good stuff by Outlier Ventures, which is a big VC who's super active in the Web3 ecosystem. So that's Ripple and that's XRP. What are the use cases and business model? So XRP is tackling the issue of cross-border payments. This is something called remittance. To illustrate how slow the current system is, I think this might be wrong, so correct me if someone knows better. But basically, if you place an order of a shipment of physical goods from somewhere else in the world and send a payment to another country in return, which would arrive at its destination first? Yep, the goods. So this is due to an archaic global financial system that requires a lot of intermediaries, so that's different banks, to check and validate each transaction as it goes through the chain. So this is really slow. It's these global payments, these cross-border payments take ages to clear and settle, and that's really what XRP is tackling. So yeah, it's a huge problem, and according to research published on Allied Market Research, again link below, the global remittance industry garnered 682.6 billion in 2018, and it's expected to reach a whopping 930 billion by 2026. So it's a huge industry. When we're looking at kind of market sizing, it's a pretty big one, and I think the explosion of fintech will drive this kind of faster. So that's kind of what makes it useful to banks, XRP that is. And then this is where Ripple comes in. Because banks are complicated and big, it does require like a company to come in and help show the bank that XRP can be useful to them. In the startup world, the startups that I do, we call this a proof of concept. We usually do that with all the bigger clients, just to show that what we have is valuable. So that's what Ripple do through RippleNet. And yeah, so in terms of traction, XRP is the 6th largest currency. It used to be 4th, but kind of got hit off that peg, with a market cap of 24 billion. Given this ranking, it's probably one of the best known currencies, and I don't think we can fault it has traction. On the Ripple side, the Ripple company now has over some 150 partners. I'll link to my where I'm quoting that from. And in the latest use case, I thought I'd just read from the Ripple case studies. Ripple's helped Santander develop its OnePay FX service that allows customers to make instant or same-day, low-cost international payments while knowing exactly how much the recipient gets and when they will receive the money. OnePay FX has been launched in 6 countries, and payments can be sent to 24 countries, including the Eurozone. Ripple's blockchain powered technology and global network of financial institutions help Santander develop OnePay FX, and they've done this through a simple mobile app. But I think the super important thing here is people know exactly how much they're going to end up. So if you're sending money home to your family, you can see how much the cut is going to take, and it's fractions of a penny, whereas usually it's whatever charge people do these days, like 2 or 3%, and it happens instantly pretty much. So instead of the traditional 3 to 5 day timeline, and I'll link to that case study below. By the numbers, RippleNet has had a massive year in 2020. It processed nearly 3 million transactions. That's a 5x growth compared to 2019. On-demand liquidity, the ODL thing I mentioned earlier, has experienced 12x growth, and transactions in 2020 of around 2.4 billion in US dollars. And yeah, again, I'll link that below. There was kind of a recap of 2020. So Ripple doing hugely well. XRP is doing well in the kind of grand scheme of things, but it's not like we've not seen it pop in terms of price. So yeah, XRP benefits from, in terms of price and stuff, from the usage by these huge financial institutions, and it's all hooked up into this network. So it's really promising stuff. In terms of the team, the XRP ledger is open source. Well, it's built on something called Rippled Source, and that's all open source. So if Ripple, the company, ceases to exist, the community maintains the validators and Rippled. The XRP ledger will continue to function as it has for the past 5 years. And that's where Ripple have built their proprietary software, RippleNet, on top of Rippled, but that's not open source. So this is where stuff can get confusing. The team behind Ripple brings a huge amount of experience to the table. The CTO, David Schwartz, runs his own podcast, which is a great listen, and I'll link that below as well. So funding-wise, as above, Ripple sell XRP to the market to fund their operations, and the latest stat I found on this when I did a quick search was in 2019 it sold 66.24 million in XRP tokens. So that's quite a big deal. That's quite a lot of money they have to play with. However, it also acts as a normal startup. and in 2019 it raised 200 million Series C funding round. So according to Fortune, this puts the company valuation at about 10 billion. So where I'm getting to here is Ripple company is extremely well funded, and it pours this kind of money into developing the ecosystem, whether that's through banking partners or through other projects, which we'll come on to now. So price in the future, the interesting bit for everyone who's still here, if it is interesting at all. So this is what I believe will drive XRP's price higher. Usage. It is a utility token. People are using it. It's probably one of the most used things by enterprise, and now it just needs to switch over to consumers. RippleX. This is Ripple's kind of venture arm. They claim it reaches about 12 million users through the XRPL and Interledger Protocol. These are like developer focused protocols, and partners with more than 40 companies championing XRP, including Coil, Forte, BRD, Bitpay, and Flare. And they say they will continue engaging with the 100 plus projects currently using XRPL by inspiring developers with best-in-class applications and functionalities. I can say that I have first-hand experience with working on the Interledger protocol with the team at Coil, and that's through the Grant for the Web program. I can link the podcast that we do on that down below, and there's some great stuff being built that could really benefit the world. This hive of activity will help drive the development of the ecosystem forward at a higher pace than other less well-funded projects. I mean, the Grant for the Web community, it's a $100 million fund. Coil were given a grant of 250 million to build web monetization, which you can check out my other videos for that. And so with more utility from both the B2B and the community side, I believe this makes Ripple a strong candidate to be one of the enduring cryptocurrencies. I think it's one of those that gets kind of walked over a lot. Because of its centralization and all the other stuff that is going on there, which we'll touch on the short-term risks in a sec. But the amount of stuff I've seen that Ripple are doing with the banks, with the big institutions, the government stuff, these guys are quite influential in the World Bank and stuff like that. I think they're kind of like these ninjas that are kind of everywhere. And even in terms of attracting world-class talent, we're seeing that Ripple is attracting loads of people from, the likes of Amazon, Facebook, all those big tech companies. Ripple does seem to be bringing them in to this sort of ecosystem. So I think it's a really interesting thing. There's some problems with it. One in particular that we should talk about, short-term risks. It would be remiss of me not to mention the recent SEC case that the SEC filed against Ripple. I'm not a lawyer, nor a financial advisor for that matter, so don't take anything I say as advice. But Crypto Briefs, a channel that has grown astronomically fast because of the case, does a great job of explaining this. So I'll post it before. In summary, the latest opinion from him is that Ripple will settle the lawsuit quickly, which I personally believe this will make the price pop, because at the moment it's being held down by this, it's being weighed down by this pending lawsuit, and as soon as that let go, it's going to be like ping. But we'll see if that comes true. I could be completely wrong, and if he is wrong, the legal briefs guy, if it doesn't get settled quickly and it drags on, it's going to drag the price down and keep it artificially low. So yeah, that's my kind of roundup of Ripple. As you may tell, I'm quite bullish on it. I hold a small position in it. I'll be interested to see what you guys think. I know there's a lot of angst and hate against Ripple, but I believe that the XRP ledger is an interesting thing, although Ripple do control a bit too much for my liking, so maybe longer term it's not going to work that well. Not like a freely open source project, which we'll look at Stellar as a comparison. And yeah, that's kind of my summation of it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it didn't go on too long. I'll try and make these a bit more snappy. If you found the video useful and the information interesting, please give us a like, because it will help get the word out. And yeah, if you could give it 2 secs, give it a like, give a subscribe, that would really help. And please comment, because I'm happy to kind of look at the issues that other people raise, and we can talk about them in perhaps a follow-up video. So yeah, that's it. I hope you found it interesting, and yeah, see you in the next one.